Okay, so very good morning, everyone. Uh, so we'll begin with the session and we'll let the students in as and when they come. We have already gone past 7 minutes. I request everyone to please keep themselves on mute during the session, and towards the end, we'll have a very interactive session. And as and when during the presentation, you can please ask any questions to our guest. Okay. We'll just wait for a couple of more minutes for the guests to join in and then we'll start. Okay, guys? Just a few more minutes. Yes, actually, the guest is facing some network issue. Okay, just a couple of more minutes and then we'll start. Okay, so very good morning, everyone. So we'll begin with today's session. Once again, I welcome you all for today's session, and today's session is going to be a very interesting and interactive one. So I hope everyone is ready with their questions already. Before we start with the session, I'll just like to introduce our guest of honor. Actually, our guest of honor for the day is Mr. Himanshu Saraf, and he's already a very well-known personality in the BVCOEL family and actually needs no introduction. But for all the new members of our family who have just joined the BVCOEL and the people joining us today from the outside, I would like to say a few words about our guest. He has done his schooling from Delhi and he's a BE graduate from BVCOEL itself. He has successfully, with the help of college support, established his company HSPM Solution right in his third year itself, of which he is the CEO currently. He is currently a proud partner slash founder of five startups. To name a few, it is HSPM Solutions, Techanics in the IT field, two more in the food sector. To name one, it is Sri Sadguru Balaji Foodworks, with another two more upcoming to focus on the e-commerce platform for branding and merchandising. He has his offices set up in Mumbai, Pune, and Delhi. In terms of his social work platform, apart from working and successfully developing his own portfolio of companies, Mr. Himanshu here has already mentored two more startups and provides a helping ground and guidance to upcoming entrepreneurs in post-COVID era, especially in the field to go digital and working at low cost. He is currently the district chairperson IT for the Lions Club district covering Pune, Ahmednagar, and Nasik, and for the same is also the leading he's also leading the youth department of the Lions Club, that is called Leo, as the district president, covering the same region, under which he has carried out many drives to help the needy, especially in the post COVID and pre COVID era. So without wasting any further time, I would kindly request Mr. Himanshu if he could please come forward and start with his session.
Thank you, Jose, for such a wonderful introduction. And good morning, everyone. Good morning, all my dear friends who are present today in this session. And yeah, we'll start, Jose. We'll not waste much time, and I'm really excited to interact with our budding entrepreneurs. Yeah. So yeah, next slide, please. Start with the second slide. Okay. So yeah, what's the startup basically? So startup, you can say, is just you can make the world to better place to live in with your startup. Basically, with whatever startup idea you are having or whatever business you are going to start soon. So yeah, we'll go that with the next slide. That what basically things are needed. Why startups fail? As we know that out of 100%, almost 93% startups fail. Yeah, of course it's a bad news, but yeah, 93% startups fail because we do not make something what people want, rather than we make something which looks attractive to us. This is a small line, but holds a great huge effectiveness, guys. Startups fail just because of one reason. What we like, we do that. Whereas it should be done what people want, what people need. Actually, they need. There is a difference between need and want. Okay, you want something or you need something. When you need something, you will pay for that. When you want something, you might compromise paying on that. So there is a difference. When you build something which people need, of course, you will have a great success rate and you will fall in that 7% bracket. Okay, so startups fail for this basic reason. One, that's the okay. Was there some issues? Okay, so next, the main question what people think is that what is the difference between a startup and a business? See, startups and business are way too different. Okay, so in a startup, there is more scalability option, you can say. Business is something which is already on a particular tested idea which is already in the market and you work and you just earn for that. So we'll start with small key points which will give you a clear picture what is the difference between a startup and a small business. Starting with the startup, that how to grow. Startup grows in a J curve. J curve, I'll be like you, we are having some guests and invitees from outside colleges also who are from management background may understand the J curve, or I'll go to the J curve in the upcoming slides. J curve is where you put in something from yourself, you build a product and then you shoot up in the market and there is a scalability option. Whereas in a business, there is a linear growth. Okay, you get an incremental return. First you invest, then you get a return. And it's very linear growth. It's a slow and steady growth. Okay, then coming to the market environment. When you go for a startup, as I told you, startup is a solution or your product is a solution to the need of the people, what they actually need. Okay, and it's not a tested idea. Okay, it's something which you are developing or you are building for your customers or for your clientele, you can say. Whereas a small business or a business is something which is already existing in the market. Okay, if Joseph says that yeah, I'm coming up with a car brand. Okay, so cars really exist in market. Okay, so it's a business with what he is trying to do. Whereas if we have seen the idea of Tesla, or we have seen the idea of electronic vehicles, EVs. EVs is a startup because there were some traditional vehicles which were going on, okay, which were running on some fuel type like diesel, petrol, CNG, but EVs came. EVs was a startup. Okay, and now they are a startup because they're growing in a J curve, not on the incremental basis. Startups, they scale quickly, whereas the businesses, increment is medium. If selling of cars is seen, if I say consider the same example, if you see petrol diesel cars, they are selling on the normal pace and a normal rate, whereas when electronic vehicles came in the market, now they are booming up. People are preferring electronic vehicles to the next level, so they are scaling quickly, whereas all other car makers and all other manufacturers, they are having a linear growth. Okay, they are having the stable growth, stable car sale purchase. Yeah, profits are increasing in a business also, but scalability is more in startup. So this is the major difference. Coming to the incentives, that how startups grow. there is a question that how do we grow? Okay, businesses are bootstrapped and on bank loan. When you are into a business, you are having your bank loans. You take loans from the bank, you just put it in that money and increase your business. Okay. Whereas in startups, what we do is we go to venture capitalists, we go to angel investors. Okay, we go for seed funding. We have the option for to list our startup as in an IPO, that are initial public offerings. Okay. Why angel investors, IPOs, seed fundings? Because you need to grow. You cannot rely on a certain particular amount which bank is providing you as a loan on the interest. Okay, in business you have to pay back that interest, whereas in your startups, when you are giving it as IPOs, you are listing it on capital gains, you are earning on angel investors. So these people are investing in your company, they are taking your shares, stakes, okay, in return. So if you are growing, you take up 10 crores, you invest those 10 crores, they expect that the company valuation will go to 100 crores. The amount they invested initially, that was of 10 crores, is now 100 crores. So this is the path of startup. Whereas in your businesses, what you do is you go to the bank, you say that I need a 50 lakh loan, you invest that 50 lakh, down the line you pay the interest on that 50 lakh, and you scale your business slowly. Okay, so now addressable market is there, where you can say supply of labor and consumption of service can take place everywhere in a startup. Okay, everything needs labor, everything needs consumption of services, manpower in a startup. Whereas in business, you have limited sectors, because you know that this business is running on these steps. So you will, if I manufacture something, okay, from maybe manufacturing some parts. So in manufacturing some parts, you need know that I need to set up an assembly unit. So for running a particular machine, I need two labor for this thing. And yeah, you will be manufacturing that particular product, and you need some salesperson for selling that, and it's going smoothly, it's earning you money. Whereas coming to the startup, in the startup you will see that you need a operations team separate, an HR team and marketing team, then coming to the technical teams. So it's supply of labor and consumption of services everywhere in a startup. Okay, now innovation, of course, what if you will make what is needed, it would be good. If you make what's already existing, it will be just a business and you will just earn money, nothing more than that. Okay, so yeah, this is the basic difference. Joseph, I would request that let's keep it a little bit interactive. If anybody wants to say something or wants to ask something, or maybe people can come on video. I don't want to sound it like a lecture. So if it's possible, so you can give permission to everyone to switch on their videos, maybe.
Yeah, sure. Guys, if anyone, you want to ask your questions, please go ahead and feel free to ask him in between the slide. You can go ahead and ask him. Yes,
Yeah, or you
guys?
maybe drop down a text in chat box. It's good for us too.
Yeah. Yes, please continue.
Yes. Slides are not visible, Joseph. Okay. So yeah. So basically, what does the need means? Which I told you, I was saying that it should be on a need. Okay. Okay, Prashant, I've noted down your question. I'll just come. Maybe your doubts will be cleared. So I'll just come on that thing. So product and market, there is a difference. Okay, and product fit is the space which is in the between of two circles, or the intersection of two circles, where you are seeing this fit written. This is the market fit. Your product and the market. What people need. Market is the users and the people. What they need, and the product which is solving that problem. That comes to a market fit. Okay, that satisfies the need of the people. The need which you rectified, that should be satisfied by people. That's why it's a product fit or a market fit. Okay. Coming next, the J curve, which I told you that there is a difference, that startup scale in the J curve, whereas businesses do not scale in the J curve. So what's the J curve? There are 6 steps to success. Guys, please, whosoever is interested for startups, do focus on these 6 curves, 6 steps to success. J curve, first you create. On the x-axis you can see, sorry, on the x-axis you can see the time, and on the y-axis you can see the money. Okay, listed. So these are two things which will work hand in hand. You will invest time to earn money. Okay. So now you create. While creating, you are seeing that you are going into the negative y-axis. Why you are going? Because you are investing to create a minimal viable product. That's MVP. You release that product. After on releasing, you are spending another something. Okay. After you have released, now you have to make sure you are growing, you are scaling up. Scaling up will consider more 4 steps. That's morph, model, scale, and harvest. In morph, you have just listed the product, given to some customers, rectified the problems, again advanced it, but the steps should be going on. The product should be there in market. It should not go back to the create part. It's create, release. Now you're improving it, modelizing it, scaling it. You are improving the product, reaching more audience, reaching similar people who are facing similar issue. Okay, so this will be likewise. Then you scale, then you harvest. Harvest is now you are earning in multiples. Now you're scaling, you're earning good, now you're scaling good. So this is the basic J curve. If I say you in the 6 steps, that's create the product, release the product, morph the product, model, build a business plan or model it. Now scale it. Scale it to different parts, maybe different geographical locations, maybe different age groups, sectors. It can be on numerous scales. Then harvest. Harvest means now you have to take the return. Okay, whatsoever is there, you have to take the return. Okay, coming to the next step, agenda for the startup. People are having an issue that how to start, where to start. Like I got a question that where did I get the motivation for this particular thing. So yeah, there are 4 steps which I consider as good steps. First is the idea verification step, that what is the idea of the startup. Second is customer problem fit. Does the issue you are solving really exists? Third point is the problem solution fit. Do you provide an optimal solution to the issue which you are solving in the customer problem fit? Fourth point is the product market fit. Does market for solution exist? The solution which you have developed, does a market exist for that solution? Okay. So now in the next upcoming slides, we will see these 4 points in brief. Okay, that what does this 4 point means and how can you do the idea verification? What's the customer problem fit? What's the problem solution fit? And product market fit. Okay. So yeah, we'll go next. We'll go to next. This is the 4 steps for idea validation. Okay. Does your idea exist or is it a good fit? So first define the goals. That what do you first take a pen paper, start defining the goals, that what are you will be addressing, what do you want to learn, should you validate your market problem or product, etc, etc. You should have various questions and you have to answer, you have to find those answers. Then you have defined the goals. Now you have to develop a hypothesis that yeah, if I have released this, what will happen, what are the assumptions of people, what is the success criteria. That for example, if I'll share about my startup, I came up in my college life with Techanics. Okay, the brand which is named as Techanics. Earlier it was HSPM Solutions. Now it's a brand of HSPM Solutions named as Techanics. In Techanics, we were having some market criteria, we have defined some goals. There were some mistakes which I also made, that was improper market analysis. Of course, I did not market research much being a college student, which I came to know later that services can be improved, services can be worked upon. Then the minimum success criteria, that these are the points where I can achieve success, which you have to define. Okay, this is the hypothesis which you do, then you experiment it. Okay, that the product or the services which you are offering, okay, are they useful? You can experiment it in maybe your friend circle, maybe your family, relatives, friends, colleagues, anybody. Okay, then you have to execute those tests. If you be very frank with yourself while executing or experimenting upon your idea, you have to be very true to yourself and very frank to yourself. Okay, then you validate. After conducting these 3 steps for idea validation, then you now see all the paperwork which you have done, all the hypotheses which you did, all the experiment stages, that yeah, this will be my experiment plan, this will I'll execute this way. Then you say now I'll pivot or proceed. Pivot is you'll achieve those small things. Okay, you will have some maybe some early plans that yeah, I'll go to 10 people and take this feedback. I'll go to this particular industry, I'll take the feedback and etc. Okay, now going further, what's customer problem field? The hypothesis which you have built in the previous stage. Now on that hypothesis, you clarify the assumptions and validate those hypotheses. While building hypothesis, as you are from technical background and maybe from management background, you know that while building the hypothesis, you assume some things, right? Now you have to be very specific and clarify your assumptions. That yeah, these are my assumptions, and do the assumptions practical? Are the assumptions practically possible, or do these assumptions exist? If yes, you have validated your hypothesis, and you can see, yeah, my solution is fitting the customer problem fit. Okay, yeah, this I expected that this might be the problem for the customer. Yeah, I expected that two-wheelers, if I say when for four-wheelers evolved, yeah, two-wheelers only 2 people can sit or maybe 1 people can sit. That's why this is the problem. Ki if we are a family of 4, how to travel? So yeah, I have rectified a problem. Let's build a four-wheeler. Let's manufacture a four-wheeler where 4 people or 5 people can accommodate. So yeah, you have on the basis of your hypothesis, you have rectified that the customer problem which you were assuming is okay and is accepted. Now coming to the next part, problem solution fit. You have already rectified the problem. Now you need to find a solution for that. So for that particular problem, a solution fit should be there. Now on the basis of hypothesis or maybe on the basis of the feedback, you created a UX blueprint. UX means user experience. Okay, user experience blueprint, that yeah, this is how my product or my service will look like. Okay, after building a blueprint, you build a prototype. That's a dummy thing, a dummy project, a prototype working model of your product or maybe a platform for your service. If it's a service startup, you build a prototype, then you interview your product. Interview your product means if I am building Techanics, I came to Joseph and I asked Joseph, yeah, this is my product or this is my platform. Please ask me some questions which you think that maybe are on a customer point of view are viable and you need to clarify your doubts. This is my prototype, Joseph. This is how I have done things. Now I want from a customer angle that what your doubts are or will you accept it? This comes
Sir, in
under.
your company, which product is going on?
In my company, I am a service-based startup as well as a product-based startup. In one of my firm, we are having a development platform where we are providing. I'll come on my company information, Ritesh, in the upcoming slides. We are a platform which will be providing doorstep services for laptop, desktop, and mobile phone repairs, rental solutions, annual maintenance contracts, as well as a complete mobile marketplace. This is one of my firm. In the second of our firm, we are coming up with a food brand with where we provide cloud kitchen startup. It's a cloud kitchen based startup where we are having our own kitchens, our own delivery chain, as well as our own software. Yes. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so yeah, after Joseph, there is a disturbance. If you can mute. Yeah. So after coming to the problem solution fit, where you have rectified the problem and solution, you go to the product market fit now. You have seen that, yeah, some customers are preferring. Now this is the product market fit. This is the summary of what you will do. The summary of what you will do in terms of what would you learn with MVP. That's the minimal viable product. The minimal viable product which you develop. You see that. Going ahead, build an MVP. Minimum viable product is build it. Ship your MVP to the first user and earn. Once you have built a MVP, that's a minimal viable product that's solving the customer problems. You ship it to your first customer, you sell it to your first customer. And of course, when you are selling it to your first customer, he or she will be paying you something. Take that money and you will see now you have to measure the product performance, that how the product is performing, do some changes are needed. Innovation matrix, you see that, yeah, the innovation which I was carrying out, now I have earned something from my first sale. Can I invest that to increase the performance of my project? If you have increased the product valuation or the performance of your product, then you go and evaluate initiatives for product improvement and implement. Okay. Again, you sell the product. Again, you talk to the users. Again, you take the feedback. You generate some revenue. You invest it. When you now there comes the point where you go to angel investors or venture capitalist or for seed funding. Okay. There are some common mistakes which startup founders make. They burn the money in starting only. But no, you should not approach angel investors or seed funders or any kind of investors in the starting. After carrying out some sales, after testing your product, after having some reports in your hand, then you go for to pitch in front of investors, or maybe to take some seed fundings, or maybe to list your startup as an IPO. So this is the cycle which goes on. Then you keep selling your products, then you keep earning and investing. If I say you that if you people are of course driving some vehicles, okay, maybe two-wheelers, maybe four-wheelers. See, I won't name the particular company, but of course, the manufacturing firms, the car manufacturing firms, or maybe two-wheeler manufacturing firms, these people are having some calculations done in their research and development department, which increases the efficiency of the vehicle, which increases the comfort of the vehicle. Okay. If, for example, a particular XYZ company comes, okay, the car manufactured by them in 2020. Okay, the features and the efficiency or the fuel mileage which is given in 2020, if they have given that to you back in 2010, okay, when the cycle this industry was evolving in 2010, if they have given you touch screen systems, maybe ABS, maybe anti-lock brake systems, then there are some airbags and all those things. Then what would they do in the long run? So you do not have to wait for that the final and the best product. If you will make the best product in one go and sell it to the customers, how will you earn more? How will you scale more? You see that in technology, iPhone, okay, OnePlus, Apple, Samsung, Xiaomi, these people are developing and incrementing their models. They are releasing new models every 6 months. Why? Because they need to scale up. If they won't give you some, uh, now phones are having 128 megapixel cameras, okay, 56 megapixel, 58 megapixel. If they would have given that back to you 10 years down the line, or maybe 10 years in the past, would you purchase now? Would you have purchased some cameras or maybe DSLRs? No, you wouldn't have purchased. So there's a balance. they evolve slowly. They take the user feedback and then they evolve. Okay, so this is a cycle, and like a detailed topic which I can take a session on, but we are short on time, so we will continue with the further things right now. This is the most common mistake. Do not love your idea. We do not have to marry it. This is the biggest mistake any startup founder commits. And that's why they fall in the 93% bracket of failure of startup. Do not love your idea. You do not have to marry it. What does this statement means? This statement means do not get engrossed in your idea, या अपने आइडिया से इतना प्यार मत कर लेना कि मेरे आइडिया के अलावा कुछ और अच्छा हो ही नहीं सकता. I have heard many startup founders. I am active mentor for 2 startups. Okay, and I am also in touch with many startups in the ecosystem. So I heard some founders saying, यार मेरा आइडिया बहुत अच्छा है, इससे ज़्यादा अच्छा कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता. But guys, the idea which you are thinking right now, if it's unique and if you think that ये सबसे पहला है और ये अगर मैंने किया, I'll earn million of dollars or billion of dollars and this will be a boom. If you see this way, so to be very honest, only 1% ideas are new. 1% ideas are new and 1% people are successful in building that boom. The rest 99%, if you think that yeah, मेरा idea सबसे पहला है and no one has done it, so you are living in your own dream world. It's nothing like that. अगर आपका idea new है तो there are millions and trillions of people staying in, billions of people staying in this world universe. The idea which you are thinking right now is minimum thought by 7 more people across the world, and this is a fact. Okay, so do not think कि मेरा idea बहुत अच्छा है. If आपका idea बहुत अच्छा है, sorry to say, हो सकता है वो idea पहले ही टेस्ट होके बंद हो चुका है. ठीक है, do not fall in love कि हाँ मैंने ये करा है तो ये होगा ही होगा. Nothing like that. I committed this mistake while starting up Techanics. I was like, we will only provide computer systems. We will only provide support to computer systems. But when we came into the harsh reality, when we did the market analysis, R&D team sat for building hypothesis and maybe building taking out some research work. I came to know, no, sorry, it's not the thing. I adapted that change. Okay, but startup founders think that yeah, no, my minimal viable product or my idea is the only idea and it's perfectly fine. No, it's not perfectly fine. Nothing is perfect, completely perfect. You have to improvise, you have to take the market analysis, you have to improve if you need to build. Okay, now we will focus. Everything was in a, like you can say, very good and very lucracious in the previous slides, but this is the major slides. Common mistakes of startup founders. Starting too late, first point. Starting too late means, again, building the best product. No, you don't have to build a best product. You have to build a minimal viable product, a minimum viable product. What do you mean by minimum viable product? Minimal viable product is something which is solving that need. If you have rectified a need, just build a prototype and a basic product which is solving that need. This is the minimum viable product. Launch that into the market and then give it upgradations or maybe improvements. Okay, slowly. Don't wait that I'll make a finished product, fully finished product, and then I'll start. Then it will be too late. Your idea will be copied, or maybe you will say that my idea is copied, or now I'm not generating revenue because you were planning to build the whole idea. You did not start in the starting, or you did not start in the minimum viable product stage. You were waiting for the final outcome product. So this is the starting too late. Second major problem is startup founders don't start with a B plan. That's B plan means a business plan. While starting they start, ये मेरा idea है and I have to do this. बस इतने पे they start. This is the most biggest mistake again committed by a startup founder. No, if it's so easy, then sorry to say, every person will be the next, every firm will be the next Tesla, every industry will be the Reliance Industries, Tata Industries, maybe Tata, Birla, TCS. Every startup or every firm, every household will have one TCS. Every household will have one Tesla. No, it's not so easy. You have to build a B plan, be realistic. You are grown up and you are into the age where you are starting a startup, where you are starting a firm. It's not something कि मैंने ये सोच लिया है कि I need to build a platform where I'll be repairing mobile phones and desktops और मैंने आज सोचा और कल मेरी कंपनी स्टार्ट नहीं होगा ऐसा. You have to build a chalk out a business plan. Business plan means what all things are involved. If I say you, some actors are there. Actors in the terms of कि if I consider my startup, my business plan of Techanics, of course, if I need to repair, I need repairmen who will repair the devices. I need technological team who will manage that platform. I need some HR or maybe some senior executives who will interview the repairmen. I need a training cell who will be, people will be getting trained how to repair. Then I'll be needing some people who will be some team who will be guiding those people that how you have to take the service, how you have to accept the platform, how you need to use the platform. There are various actors. Then warehouse or maybe the suppliers from where I'll be taking the parts. Okay. Then the transportation costs are involved. Transportation cost in the terms of I need to transport the parts. I need to see that how easily I can purchase the products. What's the margin of the products? What's the market analysis? So this is a B plan. If you will search B plan, no, you will find some single sheet B plans. Okay, that single sheet, if you fill that single paper, A4 size sheet, you can start with your business or you can start with your entrepreneurship journey or a startup. But make sure to have the B plan ready with you. Without a B plan, you won't be able to do anything. And the most important part, which we compromise in market analysis. I myself did it too initially, as I told you, on Techanics, as we only offered computer support. Okay, so that in market analysis, I came to know, no, computers won't work. Okay, computers won't work only. Mobile phone is also a computer. Okay, it's also a device which can be termed into computer devices. Then only desktops. Why not laptops? Why not tabs? Okay, then if you are servicing it, people are also demanding. People are saying that if I am coming to your platform, let's have some sale or purchase done. We will buy something. Okay, from that particular platform. So I came to know that in market analysis, yeah, this is again missing. Now I need to develop this thing. Okay, now I need to do this thing. Of course, I had to see that. Now assume they need to fundraise. This is the next mistake. That they need funding to build a startup or to start a startup. No, this is a myth. You do not need funds or you do not need funding to start. Because why would I provide you with funds being on an investor side, or maybe as I told you, I'm a mentor and investor into startups. Why would I invest when you don't have a minimal viable product? Okay, you have to show me some prototype. I cannot rely on your words that, yeah, you are saying, because money is involved. If I'm investing in you, I need to see what you have done, what's your paperwork, what is your market analysis, and how soon, if I'm investing, maybe Joseph comes to me and say, Himanshu, I need 10 crores for this particular product. Okay, I'm ready to give that 10 crores. I can fund it for 10 crores. But the point is, does Joseph comes to me with a minimal viable product? My first question will be, Joseph, what's the product? Second question, have you tested this? Third question, if you have tested this, what was the result? That matters to me the most. Fourth point, how much scalability? Like you sold the first minimal viable product, the first prototype or first demo piece which you built. Now, how many customers are ready to accept it? Is it for only 10 people? If I say Earth is covered for 100 people, is the problem solving only 2 people? It's only viable to 2 people, or it's viable, it has a potential to become a viable for minimum 50 people out of 100. Okay, if I'm getting these answers, I'm okay to invest. But if I'm not getting these answers, if Joseph doesn't has that market analysis, if he doesn't has that use cases, so of course I won't give any funding. Then you may start a business, go to bank, take a loan and start a business. It's not a startup. If it has to be a startup, you have to you have to show us a prototype. Of course, many startups, they need heavy machinery to build a minimum viable product also. In that case, you should have a demo done, a designing done. Softwares are there, design a software, get the feedback done. Okay, that is a different part. But half of the startups or half of the platforms can be developed. Okay, do not always rely on the team. In the starting, you have to start it on your own. Then people connect to you, people go, people come, and it's a journey. It's a journey. It's a long journey. Okay, which you have to cover. Then I'll suggest you keep a team size. This is a phrase which I rely upon. If you go to Domino's or Pizza Hut or any pizzeria which is famous to you or which you love, make sure the earnings of your company or the earnings of yourself, you should purchase the number of pizzas in from that earning. For example, if Joseph says I can purchase 5 pizzas, so he should only have the team size who are hungry enough, and after consuming those 5 pizzas, their hunger is satisfied, not more than that. If 5 pizzas are consumed by 5 people and their hunger is satisfied, 5 is the ideal team size. If Joseph is having 10 people and he's offering half of pizza to 10 people and their hunger is not satisfied, no use Joseph for 10 people. You have to cut down to 5 people. Make sure you have to cut down to 5 people, because आपके पास जितने पैसे हैं, जितनी टीम को अपनी हंगर मिटाने के लिए उनकी, you only need that much of team size. I did that mistake again. I started with 20 people team and today I'm running successfully with only 16 people. There was a time I didn't have a single team member. Okay, in between. So yeah, it's good enough. Okay. Now the last and the major problem which I would like to focus is spend too much too soon. Okay, I did it too again. I built this HSPM, which is now Techanics, for only desktop computer support, and I launched it, and I spent almost 70 to 75,000 on marketing, on putting up hoardings in Pune city, on developing pamphlets. Of course, it was spending too much. And then I realized in the lockdown period, after doing the market analysis, no, yeah, this platform is hardly 10%, which people need. So yeah, I spent too much. Maybe that 75,000 now when my platform is ready in the testing phase, now if I would have spent that 75,000, I would have got back the better ROIs, better return on investments. But yeah, spend too much, that's again a problem. So please focus on these some common problems, and I hope this is the startup journey in brief. And to just say my startup journey, right now Techanics is in almost testing phase and will be launched. Some awards which we got was top 300 startups. We were selected in top 300 startups across globe. We are backed up with I2E runner-up for I2E competition, which was organized by SPPU. And we got an office space in Pune University campus, which almost constituted of 1200 square feet office in main university campus. Then some awards, we are backed up with Maharashtra government for Techanics. Coming up with the Repas, that is a cloud kitchen platform which is coming up. Sri Sadguru Balaji Foodworks. It's a vada pav brand which is we are setting up across the country. Okay, then there are many more. Merchandising and marketing, we are coming. We are setting up a unit for merchandising. Merchandising is customized goods, t-shirts, mugs, and all the stuff. We're coming up with the online platform. And yeah, I started back in last 6 months, you can say, actively. Post lockdown, I came back to Pune in September, and since September and it's February. So yeah, turnover is somewhere, it's not so lucrative, but in 6 months I was able to have a decent turnover of 20 to 25 lakhs in this financial year. And let's see, with the support of my team, we might increase. So now I'm open for questions, guys. stop the screen sharing, Jose, if possible. Let's have an interactive session now. Or maybe any questions anyone has.
Sir, in your company, how many employees are work?
In my company, we are a team of 16 core team members, and we provided almost 250 plus internships throughout the lockdown across country, pan India.
Okay.
Yes.
Where is your company located?
My company is located in Delhi, Pune, and Mumbai. In Pune, I am located in Koltrud. In Delhi, I am located in Bhavana. In Mumbai, I am located on Grant Road.
Okay. Sir, are you completed engineering?
Yes, I graduated this year from your institute itself, Bharati Vidyapeeth College of Engineering, Lovely.
Okay.
I graduated here.
Yes, guys. Any more questions?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir, I have one question there to what are the steps of doing this startup, sir?
Pardon, I was not able to hear. What are the steps for?
Startup, for winning a startup.
For making a startup. As I
Yes, sir.
the session also, the main steps is ideation. First, you have to get an idea, then product problem fit, then problem solution fit. First, you need to rectify idea, key what is the need of people. Then you have to make a minimum viable product, key you are solving that particular need, and then you have to take the feedback of customers or maybe your friends, colleagues, and your circle, and then you can start. If people are preferring it, people are accepting it, then you can start.
And sir, our idea should be unique, right?
It's not like here it should be unique. It should be unique. It should be unique in sense of in solving the people's problem. It should be unique. Okay. It should be unique in solving people problem. It should not be like ki out of the world idea. Out of the world idea should not be there. And if it's out of a world idea, then proper ideation and validation should be done. You should, out of 10, if you're approaching 10 people, at least you should have one customer. If you are asking 10 people that will you buy my product, and if any one of them says yes, I'm ready to pay for this particular thing, then it's done. Because when you go to your family and friends, of course they'll say that yeah, idea is good, go ahead, because they do not want to hurt you or something. But be honest, ask them to be honest, or go to 10 random people, ask them, I'm building this thing to solve this problem, will you pay for this? If they are ready to pay for that, then it's a good idea. If no one is ready to pay, drop that idea.
Sure. Thank you for that. Okay, we'll be taking last two questions quickly, if anyone.
Sir, when is your company established?
My company got established in 2019 when I was in third year of engineering.
Okay, how do you manage the aggregation of stakeholders in your company? Like, given the situation, like I know my model, I know my model will work. I know there's a market. I know the users will use my products. But when it comes to the aggregation of your stakeholders, which is essential in your startup, their commissions. I mean, how do you decide that? There's already a standard commission. You know, like you have done your market analysis. You know the how much commission is to be given, how much you want to spend on it, and all those things. But those aggregation of your stakeholders is one big hurdle. How do you manage that?
Okay, so I suppose to answer your question, first of all, if you have done the market analysis and people are ready to pay for that, so you do not need stakeholders in the initial stages. First thing, if you are talking, what I have understood, you are talking about the actors, or maybe the suppliers, or the people who will be supplying you goods,
Yes.
or maybe yeah. So for that, you need to start, like for example, you need to build 10 products. Okay, 10 pieces of a particular product. Okay, if you have sold those 10 units, you have to scale up slowly, and while scaling up, you need to make sure that in the initial maybe 2 to 3 years, you do not have to take out your stipend, or if you are providing internships, or your commission being the startup founder. Okay, make sure you do not take your part out. You first have to reach a break even point in that term. Break even point is that if for like developing or manufacturing the 10 unit products. If 100 rupees is invested, first you need to make sure that those 100 rupees are taken back from the profits, because that's the break even point where you're not putting in from your side, okay, and you are working on a no profit no loss statement. Once you have reached that break even point, then post that break even comes the commission part, okay. And break even point does not say that ki agar if you are earning 100 rupees, you have to take out all the 100 rupees for manufacturing. Of course, there will be manpower involved. Out of those 100, maybe you can take out 50, and rest 50 you can divide among your employees or among your teammates. But make sure now you have to also reach the break even. So while you are selling 10 units, after taking up 50 more rupees, which I told you to achieve the break even, now you have to develop 15 units. Because after break even, only your company statements or your financial statements will go into profit zone. Okay, you might think that I am getting money and I am paying everything. That's not the point. Break even is must. Post break even, you have to think that what commissions I have to pay. First, focus on break even.
But sir, initially, when you start, like, there's a J curve for that, right? So
Yes.
in that, when you invest your money and your time, so you have to bear that dip in J curve, right?
Yeah. Yeah, of course. But that J curve, if your question is that where to get that money for that depth, right? Or
Yes,
not?
yes. You have to manage that dip.
Okay, so it totally depends upon your product which you're building. How much investment does it requires in terms of monetary funds? Because you are saying time. Time, you of course you have to invest. Time is the most precious thing which you are investing. Money, you are lagging. So it totally depends upon the prototype of the product. If it involves huge costs, like lakhs or crores in developing a minimal product, so then what you have to do is you can do one thing, use design software, design a product, take feedback from the people, original feedback, record videos, okay, see, talk to people experts in that particular industry, okay, and then see that is it a minimal viable product, and if you get that paperwork done and your research done, then you may go to an investor and pitch that this is what I have done and I'm planning this. Maybe you will get some investor for building that minimum viable product, and post building that minimum viable product you can scale up.
Sir, which thing you made in your company?
It's a platform, it's a service platform, okay, it's a website and mobile apps where you will be, you can get technicians to repair your devices, you can sell and purchase uh, computers, laptops and mobile phones and various other stuff. And also I am doing software development, so we do develop softwares, we develop ERP systems, customized softwares, mobile apps, websites, etc.
Sir, how
Sure.
to create a
Okay.
mobile app?
Pardon?
Uh,
Hello.
Yeah,
Sir,
hello.
how to create a any mobile app?
So it comes to the technical specifications. I suppose the mobile apps, basically it's coding based and technological part is involved. So yeah, you develop that accordingly.
Yeah, to answer that question, I'd just like to help. HSPM Solutions have also taken many, workshops in which they even teach us how to build a website and application. So we'll let you guys know if any of those positions open up again. So yeah, I think we are past our time now. So I think we should conclude. So once again, Mr. Himanshu, very thank you. I like really thank you for coming in here today, and I know your busy schedule. You know, we had a talk in the morning, so it's really good that you came here and on such a short notice and gave us this session. So yeah, on behalf of the BEP family, as you are officially an alumni now, so we
Thank
really thank you from the BEP family for coming in here, and definitely we are gonna get a hold of you again and again, to just
yes.
guide all of us. And yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Any
Thank
concluding statement from your side?
Thank you, Zef. And yeah, concluding statement. You can share my contact details to anyone, and I would love to help startups and setting up, going them digital, whereas setting up a startup. So concluding statement will be this: I would be happy to have some more startups from my college, which I graduated from, and I look forward for from other students to have some startups done, and let's change this industry and change the post-COVID scenarios in the country. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much. Yeah, now I request all the participants if you could please kindly open up your chat box and you will be seeing a feedback link. So if you can just fill that up and according to that then we'll progress with the future sessions. So yeah, thank you so much for coming in today, and yes, please don't forget to fill the feedback form and we'll see you in the next session. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you.
Thank you so much.